Hi, Tim. I'm Jen. I'm a social work intern here at UTA CAPS. Thank you so much for meeting today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So today we're going to spend about 10 minutes or so working on a change plan together. And the purpose of this change plan is to help you think through a change that you'd like to make, why it matters to you, and also to come up with some steps towards that goal that feel realistic and doable. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can stop me at any time and ask me questions too. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Okay, do you have any questions right now?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, let me know if any come up.
Mhm.
Is it all right if we go ahead and get started?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, then let's begin. What brought you in today, Tim?
Yeah, I feel like my drinking on a Saturday night is getting out of hand, and I don't necessarily want to like quit, but I think I really need to cut back and drink less.
Okay, so to be certain that I'm understanding everything clearly, you're not sure that quitting drinking entirely is the answer, but you do know that the current pattern isn't working for you anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What have you been noticing lately that concerns you?
Well, the wife's been complaining about me drinking too much. I've been noticing it too. I sleep way too late on Sundays and feel pretty bad for most of the day, and just my day is sort of taken up, and I don't not really showing up for my family and my son the way I would like to on those days.
You're tired of drinking taking away your time and energy on the weekends, and you want that time and energy back for you and your family.
Yeah, yeah,
It sounds like being a present father really matters to you.
yeah. No, it's super important.
If you cut back on drinking on Saturday nights, how would things in your life improve?
Well, I assume I'll feel better physically. I get my day back instead of losing it to just sleeping or hungover, and then I can be more present, be there for my son, and I think it'll make the wife happier as well.
So it sounds to me like you have several meaningful reasons to make this change. Your health, how you feel, your family,
Mhm.
and your relationship too. Am I getting all of that correctly?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay. So what kind of change feels realistic right now?
Well, I don't want to cut things out completely. I enjoy hanging out with my friends, and that's important to me as well. So, I just don't want to get kind of smashed and messed up every time I do.
You want something realistic and sustainable for your life that lets you keep going out with your friends, but kind of get your Sundays back, not something that's
Yeah,
all or nothing. Yeah.
yeah, that.
What would that look like specifically for you?
And practically just kind of stopping after a drink or two, stopping there.
So stopping after a beer or two, that to me, that sounds like a very specific and workable plan. And also the fact that you were able to just readily come up with that shows me that you've already started thinking through how you can make this work with your life. Um, so what do you think might help you follow through with that plan?
Oh, maybe eating beforehand, fill up my stomach, feel full, using cash instead of a card, and making sure to drink some water, sort of between drinks.
To me, those all sound like really strong strategies. Eating beforehand, bringing a set amount of money and sticking with that, and then spacing your drinking with water. That all sounds very like specific and doable and achievable. Who in your life could help support you in doing this?
My wife, my sister too, probably.
They sound like really strong supports in your life. So in thinking through the plan that you've come up with, what obstacles might get in your way?
Oh, sometimes when you're out and about, some of the guys just, start buying around. So, Magic Beer just kind of shows up, and, then you kind of feel like compelled to have it because they spent some money and everybody's having a good time. And it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll have one more.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like there's some amount of social pressure and also some amount of like spur of the moment decisions when you're out that are some of your biggest obstacles to cutting down on drinking.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's right.
So, how do you want to handle those things if they come up?
Maybe just tell the guys that, hey, I'm trying to cut back, I appreciate it, but kind of thanks, no thanks, and maybe try to leave at a particular time to kind of set myself a bedtime.
I mean, to me, that sounds like that's showing really good insight and planning to tell people ahead of time what time you're planning to leave, and also that you're planning to drink less.
Hmm.
Um, and But let me ask you this, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about making this change this weekend?
This weekend, oh, probably like an 8.
An 8 is fantastic. What made you choose 8 and not say a 3?
Oh, because I feel like I already kind of made a decision to do that. We're having this talk, so I feel kind of strong about it.
That puts you way ahead of the game. You already know that this is something that you want to do, and you know that you can follow through when you commit to something. Now, let me ask you another related question. What might move that 8 to like a 9 or a 10?
I think telling my wife that planning on cut back and being home at a certain time and kind of having the responsibility there.
Yeah, so seeking out support from your wife and then preparing ahead of time. I like that. That's a great plan. Um, I just want to summarize everything I'm hearing, so please correct me if I get anything wrong. And also please feel free to add any additional details that I've missed too. Um, you want to cut back on drinking on Saturday nights so that you can feel better physically, be more present with your son, and also just improve your life at home generally.
Yeah, no, that's
You've
right.
made, okay. You've made a plan to limit yourself to 2 or 3 beers when you go out, eat beforehand, drink water between beers, and also let your wife and your friends know ahead of time that you're cutting back and what time you plan to go home. Did I get everything correct?
Yeah, I think you did.
Are there any details that I missed that you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. How do you feel about all this?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it actually.
I'm really glad to hear that. I really appreciate how thoughtful and honest you were today, and it sounds to me like you've come up with a solid plan. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thanks, appreciate the time.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Hi, I'm Jen. Which of the grading components did you miss? I don't think I missed any. I spent a significant amount of time preparing for this and also making my husband, who recorded it with me, prepare for it too. So I'm pretty sure I hit all of the rubric points and all of the points in the instructions. Um, what did I do well? Um, I think I did pretty good at consistently encouraging the client throughout in showing empathy and in reflecting back what he was saying. Um, I think my motivational interviewing was pretty strong in this. I don't find motivational interviewing to be like a natural way that I speak. And so it's something that I've been very consciously working on throughout this semester, both in this class because we did it in the last skills activity, but in other classes too. It's something that I want to learn how to do and learn how to do well. Um, what would I do differently if I had a do over? Well, I did have a do over because this is recorded, so we recorded it a few times and picked the one that's best. I would say that if I had a do-over of any length, I would like to spend more time exploring things like situational triggers for drinking. I'd like to talk a little bit more about those motivations for change that the client had, but just within a 10-minute time constraint. I didn't really feel like I could go any further in depth than what I did here. Describe your comfort level doing this activity with the client. I felt very comfortable. In the first place, this was with my husband, so I'm extremely comfortable talking about anything with him. But even with a client, these sorts of questions don't make me feel uncomfortable to ask or to hear the answers to. So my hope is that when I become a professional in the field, that level of comfort and I hope personal empathy translates and makes my clients feel comfortable as well. And then the last question, what was the most challenging part of this interaction? For me, it was just the time constraint and making certain that I hit everything that I needed to within the time allotted. And like I said before, really, like my natural inclination is not to speak in this kind of motivational interviewee kind of way, and I'm working on that actively. And then also that I would really like to explore triggers and motivations for change and all of that. And I understand that in the space that can be given to an assignment that there's just not time to that. But I think in the real world, I would take some more time to do those things. All right, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for your time. You have a great day.